Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you may be watching this transmission. It is I, Mike Martins, broadcasting from Merritt, British Columbia. Guys, we have a huge crisis in our hands. Homelessness across Canada is just out of control, out of control. And one of the cities that's being hit pretty hard right now is Edmonton. It's finally making some international headline news. That the great city of Edmonton. I've been there a few times, maybe 4 times, and very heartbroken to see the tents piling up there on the street, and homeless camps raise questions over safe spaces for the less fortunate. See, that's the problem. We're not creating average paying salaries so people could get into housing, and it all stems to housing affordability. Nobody wants to be homeless. Nobody wants a safe space to park their tent when you get the minus 30, minus 40 temperatures there you get in the winter. So let's face facts and fact. Let's call spades and spades and actually tackle what's really happening here. So I myself, I'm one of those kind of migrants. I left Vancouver. I refused to pay $2 million for a detached bungalow, a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2,000 square foot bungalow for $2 million. $5.5 million. I got the article up on my channel. Go to my channel and you'll see the video. I think if you just type in rip off here, I'll show you guys, okay? If you're from Edmonton or Alberta, thanks for joining my channel. Rip off. Real estate rip off. Here it is. There's a house here.
I don't know what those...
So you guys have that. There they are. Right there. Bungalow. 2-bedroom, 2-bath. $5.5 million. So I refuse to pay. That house in West Palm Beach, Florida, that house in Florida is like 70 grand. Why would I pay $5.5 million for that? Oh, it's in Vancouver. It's even worse. There's congestion. The city's not designed for that many people. Blah, blah, blah. So let me get to no one has money. Everyone's pissed off. So let's get back to what's happening right now real quick in Edmonton. Don't forget to hit me up on PayPal, guys. And don't forget to follow me on Patreon. All right, guys, here it is. Homeless issue in Edmonton. I am very struck when I saw this. It's just like everywhere is being hit. So let's find it. Let's see what's going here.
We've seen it over the last few weeks really build up. Many of the people here don't have anywhere else to go. Their camps have been cleaned out and cleared out in the River Valley or other areas around the city.
The homeless camps are set up near social supports.
People are camped outside the Bissell because they have a connection to things like washrooms.
Look at that. First world encampments by skyscrapers. That's why I keep telling everyone we're entering the skyscraper dark ages. Or feudal skyscraper age.
Meals, showers, laundry, they're workers.
There's programs that can help you build your life back up, you know what I mean? If you're willing to get help, the help is here for you.
Concerned about public safety, the city has asked the tenters to leave by next Thursday.
It's pretty sad, you know, they're going to kick people out of there. I mean, where are they going to go?
I can't afford a place by myself, but the rent, you know, like, wow.
Prissa Petu says she's been living in tents for 3.5 years and has been forced to move too many times.
I just will go back to the bike trail and then back until they get it, you know what I mean?
It's kind of futile when we're shuffling people around week after week when they're chasing people from kind of one camping spot to another.
The Bissell Centre has asked the city for an extension to put off the evictions. The city says it's monitoring the situation and
So we just had the Canadian debates. I made a few videos. We follow it and recap it. And I kind of comments during the debate and stuff. Absolutely disgusting. They don't tackle the homeless issue, the opioid crisis. They don't tackle the money laundered across Canada. They don't tackle foreign investing, buying out Canadian propers' futures. They don't tackle nothing. They just like to talk about this. They don't want to talk about this. They like to talk about pipeline, global warming, and what was pipeline, global warming, and climate change.
Needs provincial and federal funding to help develop 900 more units of supportive housing. That's the long-term plan. But right now, some advocates say a safe and tent-friendly spot would go a long way.
They should have a place for them to store their stuff and a place for them to go home, put their tents up without worrying about people coming and throwing it in a truck and haul it off to the dump.
Sarah Ryan, Global News.
Yeah, that's pretty bad, guys. I am Very, very upset to see that. It's been happening. It's been manifesting for a long time. Here's some photos here. It's Canada's at a whole, everywhere and anywhere to live in Canada has gotten super, super, super expensive. Downtown homeless encampments prompt city to ramp up housing efforts. It's the same in every Canadian, every English speaking country. So if you're watching this from Alberta for the first time, it's happening all over Australia. All the affordable cities were bought out by foreign investing. Same thing in New Zealand. Same thing, complete. London, UK, everywhere. Canada and Western United States. The whole Western United States has been completely bought out by foreign investing. So the city of Edmonton says it's boasting efforts to get people sleeping rough into housing amid the increase in downtown homeless encampments and as temperatures dip below 0 degrees. That's what I'm concerned about, the temperature change, right? An encampment response team headed Homeward Trust has been meeting weekly since September 25th to coordinate housing for roughly 400 people sleeping rough on any given night in Edmonton, says Christy Kajener, the city's director of housing and homeless. We spent a lot of time and energy shuffling people around. Yeah, I think what needs to happen is during these debates, I made videos here on my channel here, guys. The other day, it's right here. The Great Canadian Political Debate Epic Fail. And I did a live stream. It's in here. It's under videos. You go under videos here. I just got to get that one up. And here it is. 2019. It's 3 hours long, but it's basically covering the entire debate.
A lot there for just 40 seconds.
And they don't cover anything about homeless, opioid crisis, money laundering. They talk about affordability, but they don't discuss affordability. They try making affordable for Canadians to federalize prescription drugs. But if they federalize that, it's going to turn into a nightmare, just like everything else that gets federalized gets turned into a nightmare. So this time of year, people begin to get very anxious. There is no single explanation behind the spike in encampments. I'll tell you what it is. So a lot more work to do. Homeless falling in Edmonton report shows number of people who are homeless nearly half than the 2008 peak. So they're trying to play it off as it's not a problem. But then you have other more people basically on the other side of the fence basically saying it's a lot worse than it's ever been, and encampments are showing up more than ever before. But then you have some news reports outlets that are going to tell you what's happening. So what is happening? Why is this happening in middle Canada like this? You know, what do you call it? West Central, well, not Central, but the whole mountain area of Canada. Why is this happening in the mountain time zone? Why? Well, it's very simple. It all started in basically right here. This is what started. Canada wants more Chinese workers, students, and tourists, immigration minister says. But here's the problem. You're probably thinking, well, so what? People immigrate to Canada all the time. It's not a problem. Not when you're doing 500,000 per year, and opening more visa offices could help compete for Chinese workers, students, and lucrative tourist business. That is the problem. And when they come, a lot of them come, and the first thing they do is they buy a house and settle, or try and settle in, or leave them empty. So okay, so you're probably saying, okay, Mike, what are you trying to say with that and this and that? Well, no, there's 500,000 per year, and this is from 2016. So it started to do this. So this started to trend. So this started trending right away. Okay. Aboriginals and whites leaving Metro Vancouver, but tens of thousands. This is from 2016, 9,354. 2017, 17,800. And 2018, 22,000. 2019. So the numbers keep quadrupling or doubling over time. So there you go. Aboriginals and whites leaving Metro Vancouver for regions, particularly to live in the Fraser Valley and Vancouver Island, Okanagan, according to Statistics Canada. So a lot of these people went to Edmonton, Calgary to try and, other places in Alberta to try and make it work because it's just too damn expensive. Who wants to pay $5.5 million for a bungalow, right? Okay, well, that's not going to fly, right? So the Canadian proper just can't afford to buy that. So that's what happens. So that happens. This happens, and then now this happens. Canada would be in a recession without money laundering. Over 200 billion money laundering across Canada over the last 5 years, and close to 80% of it is through, 87% of it is through, look at all the money laundering. Look at Alberta money laundering. Look at this. Right here in billions. And you know what it's from? Foreign investing. It's all foreign investing. Well, not foreign investing, foreign laundering is what it is. Plain and simple. It's right here. Plain as day for everyone to see. You know what I'm saying? That's what's happening, and we're not tackling the issues. Bringing in 500,000 wealthy Chinese per year does not help our economy. It doesn't help the Canadian proper. We get completely bought out. Now, everyone's saying, oh, you're just a racist. No, I'm a Portuguese. I'm an immigrant. I'm a Portuguese citizen. I'm an immigrant. A lot of us were deported from Ontario. Look up mass deportation of Portuguese here. Of Portuguese. So, a lot of us get deported. See, Canada launches crackdown on illegal Portuguese, tens of thousands, mass purging of Portuguese families, foreign labor is shown the door. So people that owned houses for 10, 15 years in Canada that were misled by their employers saying that, oh, we'll renew your visa, you're good to go, and they pay their employers $5,000 and then they get shown the door after. So, yeah, Canada is basically a one-sided thing when it comes for Portuguese immigrants. They're very not welcome, and a lot of them are being asked to leave and deported in mass numbers, right? So a lot of them own their homes free and clear, and it's a problem. So for me to bring this up, they would, I want to bring this up so people know. They're like, oh, why are you picking on the Chinese? If it was the Russians, I'd say the Russians are doing this. If it was the Iranians, I'd say it was them. If it was the Americans, I'd say it's the Americans evading Trump or something. But that's not the case. For someone to launder $200 billion through our country, that's a lot of cake, guys, and that's a lot of displaced Canadians, and that's introducing foreign money to an economy, a mediocre economy with 30 million people. To introduce that much money, it starts offsetting and creating dark voids in our economy that politicians need to hide, and they don't even bring this up during the political debates. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I would like to know your perspective if you're living in Alberta. Share this video if you're living in Alberta and Edmonton. I have a lot of love for you guys. Big hugs. And let me know what you guys think, okay? Thanks for watching, okay?